Welcome to Wolverine MMA live stream. If this is your first time joining us, thanks for being on. It's my first time live streaming the MMA show to Kick. So if you join us on there, thank you. Tonight we're watching Dana White's Contender Series 2026, Episode 1. I probably won't do a full live stream for every episode of this. All right, where's my sound? Doing a sound check here. All right, there we go. Oh.
Episode 1.
All right. Yeah, I probably won't do a live stream for the entire event for every week of this, but I will try to get on here for the final fight and give my picks for who deserves a contract every week for the next 10 weeks. I'm going to do the full show tonight just because I can, because I got home from work on time to get my workout in already. But yeah, if you guys could leave me comments in the chat, I do have the chat pulled up for Kick and Rumble and YouTube. Not streaming to Facebook because you can't stream to Facebook Live, and it doesn't make sense to do a live reaction show that people can't watch live. I will have my timer up here. Also, let me get that pulled up. All right. I will be switching my camera view over occasionally so we can look at records and things like that on SureDog. Was looking at our first few fights here. Actually, I looked at all of them, looked at all the fighters competing tonight. Looks like we've got some evenly matched, some, I don't know, they're not one-sided. I know when you look at the odds on this one, it seems like it would be pretty one-sided, but this fighter only has one loss his entire career, and this guy's undefeated. So, I mean, it should be interesting. All right, we got 3 of you on Rumble and 2 over on Kick. So if you're just joining me, and if you're joining me for the first time, I am a retired MMA fighter and pro kickboxer. Had 50 total fights in my career. Fought on Chuck Norris's World Combat League years and years ago. Fought somebody who ended up being a world champion in kickboxing also, and beat him twice. I like to throw that in. But and then I taught kickboxing and jiu-jitsu and MMA for a long time. Oh, I got a comment already. Hasbullah. No, we're waiting for the first fight to start. It just came on. That Hassan fight has not started yet. Hassan is the biggest favorite on the card. He's a minus 2,500 favorite. So, I mean, that's huge. Thank you, Enjoy Bazaar on YouTube. Yeah, that should be a good fight. I think all these are going to be good fights. Let's really quick. I'm gonna switch my camera view so you're not looking at the side of my face here. I do have 2 cameras. Christian or Nicholas, scoot over, dude. So you're not in the stream. All right. So I need to get a samurai sword back on the wall behind me again and straighten out that picture. But that's for another night. It'd be cool if I had fight posters instead of Mario over for this particular stream. Sometimes I do stream retro gaming stuff too, so hence the Mario and Luigi painted by my wife in the background when I switch my camera view. All right, so let's look at Joseph Kropshot, the land animal, which is a weird nickname. He's 8-3, 100% finishing rate in his 8 wins. So that's pretty impressive. He's a all or nothing fighter. We talked about like with Terrence McKinney. All of his wins are by knockout or are by finish, and all of his losses are by finishes. So, yeah, he is on a 4-fight win streak. Started his career with a 4-fight winning streak, and then lost 3 in a row. One of those is to Cody Brundage back in 2021. So we know about Cody Brundage. He's been in the UFC for quite a while. And he's kind of been up and down in his career too. So, but I mean, 4-fight winning streak. So you look at that and you think, oh, this guy is probably the favorite, but he is in fact not, because his opponent, Jonathan Kuhnman, AK-47 is his nickname, has a 100% finishing rate and is 10-0. So pretty crazy to look at. It's like he likes arm triangles. He has 3 wins by arm triangle, 2 wins by rear naked choke, and 1, 2, 3 TKOs. Yeah, I like what I see there. I mean, mostly chokes and a what do we see? A key lock. I always say closest to the neck, the better. So chokes are primary, shoulder locks are secondary, and when you start getting out on the arm, you got potential of guys escaping, you got potential of guys' arms popping and them continuing. We saw that recently with the gal on Ultimate Fighter, Gigi Canuto. Did some pretty decent damage to her opponent's arm in the fight on the Ultimate Fighter, and the girl kept escaping and just hung tight and came back and beat her in the second round when she exhausted herself trying to finish her. So, and then she ended up losing on last weekend's fights also. Even though, I mean, she was a little close on a few submissions, it wasn't as bad as what she did on the first round of Ultimate Fighter to the girl she fought. But I do think Canuto deserves another chance, maybe at least one more fight in the UFC. I'd like to see her on UFC BJJ also, because of her high-level jiu-jitsu. Sorry, I scooted out of the picture. But yes, so like I'm saying, Jonathan Kuhnman, obviously, you see why he is the favorite. I'm not really going to give you predictions tonight because, I mean, they would probably be with the odds favorite because I haven't seen these guys. And most of these odds, I feel like, are just done off of, you know, the fighters' records. And who knows how many of the people setting these odds have actually, or who knows if people have actually, you know, watched these guys fight. They've mostly, I'm sure, looked at their records. All right. So, getting ready for the first fight of the night. Kuhnman versus Kropshot. I'm going to give you guys my live commentary and live reaction to what happens. But like I said, I'm not really going to make picks because all these fighters, I've only looked at their records today in the last, you know, hour. I haven't gotten to watch a bunch of their fights to be able to tell you, oh yeah, this guy can do this and this guy can do this. And like I said, it would probably just be picking whoever's the odds favorite. And we do have a couple fights where the odds are very slanted. This first one, Kuhnman's a pretty big favorite. Undefeated, and his opponents had 3 losses in his career, even though he's on a 4-fight win streak. So it should be interesting to see here. And if you are watching on YouTube, if you could click on the referral link in the description and sign up for Rumble that way. I will get credit for you signing up, and then you can follow all of my content over on Rumble. I've got like 6 different channels on Rumble for different things that I stream. But if you could follow my MMA one, that would be cool. If you could follow all of them, that would be cool because I get credit for each one that you follow. And if I can get enough people watching at once on Rumble, I can run ad reads during these and make a little bit of money, because right now I don't make any money off these videos. All right, we got an ad. I didn't check. I highly doubt they have multicam, but I will look here. I like to watch the multicam during the actual UFC cards. It is at the Apex, so I'm sure they have the capability to do it, but I don't know if they do. This is the first. This would be the first Contender series on Paramount. Switch my camera view so I'm looking over to my right. Have an extra monitor over here, actually an extra Roku TV, so I can watch multicam on one when they do have the multicam. Then I do have, also we got a new episode of Ultimate Fighter out today. So when these fights are over, I'll probably watch that, but I won't stream for that. Maybe I'll talk about what happens on Ultimate Fighter on my next live stream. I'll probably do quite a few live streams this week because we've got a numbered UFC coming up Friday. We have 2 title fights, and I'm going to do breakdowns where I'm going to watch videos of the fights, or the fighters' fights, like 2 or 3, maybe some highlights of each fighter in the co-main and the main event. So I'll do one for the women's 115-pound title fight, and then I will do one for the welterweight title fight also. Let's see, more episodes. Well, on now. Okay, it doesn't look like they're doing multicam. Nope. So I'm going to turn off that monitor. I don't need that. 2 screens going if they're not doing that. And I'm going to switch back to my left camera. All right. So they're doing the little intros for each fighter, video intros. I believe they're doing Kunman right now. Undefeated, 10-0, all finishes. Were they all submissions, or do you have a TKO? Let's go back. Jonathan Kunman. Oh, he has 7 submissions and 3 knockouts. Like we said, mostly chokes and 1 key lock or Americana, whatever you want to call it. All right, now they're showing Joseph prop shot. Let's look back at Cropshot's record. Did he fought anybody? Oh, yeah, he had the fight with Brundage. Fight with Brundage back in 2021. He's from Danville, California. I saw one fighter was from Colorado on the card. I don't remember which one. See if we recognize any of the other names on his record, and I can't say that I do. Yeah. Just Brundage. That's the only guy I see on there. Did Brundage finish him? Brundage finished him by an arm triangle, which oh my gosh. We already said three of his wins, Jonathan Kuhnman's wins, were by arm triangle. So obviously one of his favorite moves. So this could be a blowout. Arm triangle. Arm triangle, arm triangle. Bravo choke, which is a Darce. It's just an old name for it, I guess. TKO, TKO. And then rear naked chokes and the aforementioned key lock. Where is he from? All right. Also he's from Colorado. This is the guy from Colorado. Conifer. I'm not sure where Conifer is. I think it's up near Denver or somewhere. You know where Conifer is, Nate? Where's Conifer, Colorado? You have any idea? You ever been through there? It sounds familiar. I think it's near Denver, Colorado Springs area. Here, let's look it up in real time. Where is Conifer, Colorado on the map? Well, that doesn't give me much. Okay. Conifer. Ah, okay. I just want to zoom out so I can see where the heck this place is. Aspen Park. It's a town near there. Evergreen is north of there. Dakota Ridge. What are all these places? Lakewood. Okay, so it's looks like it is southeast side of Denver. Not quite a suburb of Denver. Well, maybe it's considered a suburb. Southwest. Did I say southeast? It's southwest of Denver. All right, now we know. I didn't see who he trains with. Since I live in Colorado, I am familiar with some of the different gyms. Elevation Fight Team. Is that the one? Is he coached by? I don't recognize anybody in his corner. Elevation Fight Team. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of High Altitude Fight Team. I don't know who Elevation is. Wait. It says this is the team that Alistair Overeem used to train with. Let's see who else here. Brandon Thatch. Okay, I know which team this is. Corey Sanhagen. Yeah, okay, so, and Curtis Razor Blades. All right. All right. We have both fighters in the cage. Yeah, strange. I didn't see anybody I know in his corner because I know a lot of the people from that fight team. I actually think an old student of mine, Martin Paradis, trains at that team. I saw Brandon Thatch's name was listed on there. Oh, we got to get the timer. All right, we got Herb Dean for the reffing the first fight of the night, so hopefully this goes well. All right, we are on right now. Okay, so Kuhnman taking control of the center of the cage. Yeah, one of my old students and training partners, Martin Paradis, I believe trained at that team. He may still. I know he was doing some boxing. I don't know if he's still doing any MMA. But he trained with Curtis Blades and a lot of those other guys from that team. Good kick so far by Crop Shot. I forget which team. I don't even know if he's a coach anymore. I haven't seen him in anybody's corner in a little while, but Christian Allen. I would see him in a lot of corners. I believe he would always corner with former UFC fighter, Marshall, Elliot the Fire Marshall. I think they were coaches for that team. But I did not see either of them in Kuhnman's corner. Kuhnman coming forward with some big punches. So far, I would say Prop Shot doing pretty good with the kicks. Good teep kick, and now he pushes Kuhnman back a little bit. So Crop Shot, nose is red and potentially bleeding. Both guys look like they've got bloody noses already. And we are a minute 45 into this first round. Yeah, both guys definitely bleeding from the nose. So Kuhnman definitely the shorter guy. Crop Shot using a lot of good long range techniques with the kicks and a lot of jabs. I always feel like there's a good nice straight cross. He's throwing good straight shots. I feel like tall people, the jab, the inside low kick, and the front kick are always very valuable techniques. When I used to train taller fighters, that would be something I would really have them work. Lead jab to set up the inside low kick and the front kick. And then everything else follows those three techniques. Okay, Kuhnman's starting to push forward again. He needs to not, oh, he's backing up again. He needs to keep the taller opponent backed up. Obviously, Crop Shot has a pretty sizable reach advantage on him. This is a middleweight bout. Oh, big looping punches by Kuhnman. Looked like he at least got some contact with a few of those. But he's backing up to the fence again. He could potentially push off that fence and come up with a really big shot. Interesting, we're not seeing Kuhnman looking for takedowns, considering he's got 7 submission wins. Sorry, I'm leaning that way, but turn this a little bit. We got some more people popping up on YouTube. So we're watching the first episode of the Contender series right now. First episode on Paramount Plus. We got Kuhnman from Colorado fighting Crop Shot from California. It's been a fairly close fight so far. Kuhnman, huge favorite, 10-0, 100% finishing rate, 3 knockouts, and 7 submissions. And 3 of those by arm triangle, which Kuhnman has lost to arm triangles in the past. To UFC fighter Cody Brundage, who's also from Colorado. He fights out of Factory X. Right. Fighters return to their corners. Both fighters bloodied up noses. Kuhnman's got a cut by his eye. Really surprised a guy with 7 submissions has not gone for a takedown. Actually, man, Crop Shot does not look as beat up as Kuhnman so far. Oop, sorry, I got my timer going off. I don't know if you guys can hear that beeping. So I got the sound turned down. All right. Oh. So we got numbers going everywhere on my streams tonight. First night streaming to kick. for the MMA stream. I see I got 2 viewers on there right now. Thanks for joining us, guys. I'm going to start trying to stream just about everything that I stream on Rumble to Kick. I don't stream everything to YouTube, so if you are watching on YouTube, if you could click on my referral link for Rumble and sign up for Rumble under there. It's free. I'll get credit for you signing up. And the more people I have watching on Rumble, the better. Oof, good front kick by Prop Shot. Knocks Koonman backwards. Now, how big of a favorite did it say Koonman was in this fight? Minus 400 favorite. And Crop Shot has him down. Wow. So these odds may not have been great, and the records may not have told the full story. Ooh. Prop Shot should have thrown a knee as soon as Koonman was up. So Koonman, you would think, would have the better cardio training at altitude up near Denver. Or in Denver. A little bit of blood on the forehead of Crop Shot now. I don't know if that's from him or if that came from Koonman's nose. Still, Crop Shot kind of leading the dance here, so to speak. Nice body shot with the right hand, and he came up with the left hook. I like that. He just seems to have the more versatile attack. He's throwing the better straight shots. And he did get Koonman down for a brief moment. Yeah, this is not going the way the odds or the records would suggest. I feel like Crop Shot is doing really well. It's kind of taking control this round. I thought round 1 was a little closer, maybe an edge to Crop Shot, and this round, I feel like even more to Crop Shot. So Koonman's got to stop backing up. It may be the pressure, you know, coming in, the undefeated fighter and everybody expecting you to win is kind of, it's a lot of pressure. And man, Crop Shot doing really good with the stance switches. Like I said, very versatile attack. And Koonman has shown more one-dimensional attacks at this point. Man, a big series of punches by Crop Shot and no answer from Koonman. Oh, he threw a right and came back with a left hook, did Crop Shot. Looked like it hurt Koonman a little bit. Yeah, he's really taken over this round. Oh, sorry about the light coming in there, guys. Hopefully that fixed that. All right, so Crop Shot went for a takedown. Koonman in control now and doesn't take advantage of it. Lets Crop Shot right back up. Sorry about that. If I was blinding anybody with my video there. Okay, so Koonman got blood coming from the nose. Maybe, ooh. Did he catch him with the elbow there? It was almost like he ran into his elbow. Yeah, it looked like it hurt him. He spun around in a circle. Oh, man. This is not good for the shorter opponent to be backed up against the fence this much. And Koonman looks to be the more tired fighter, which is pretty crazy considering that Crop Shot is from California. You would think that Koonman would have the cardio advantage. Oh. We'll say, and Koonman's his picture on his profile on SureDog, he looks shredded. Oh, sorry guys, I'm missing comments here. Where I can watch the fights, please. If you're in the United States, it's on Paramount. I'm not sure. You might have to search, Google it, and see if you're not in the U.S. where you can watch it. But in the U.S., it is on Paramount right now. Pretty sure the fights aren't on YouTube. I think they're just on Paramount. All right. End of round 2, and I feel like Crop Shot is up 2 rounds to none. Let me look really quick and see if it is on YouTube. I don't think it is. Where's my other remote? I'll check YouTube, but I don't believe it is on YouTube. I think it could be on the UFC app also. Let me check. Let me check the UFC app, and then I'll check on Fight Pass. You know what? It says Paramount Plus on the picture, so I'm assuming it's just on Paramount Plus. But I will double check. All right, we're getting ready for round number 3. Live event coverage. I do not see the Contender Series on Fight Pass, so it's definitely not on Fight Pass. I will check YouTube, but I don't think so. I think it's only on Paramount Plus. And if you are not in the United States, you're going to have to Google it because I'm not sure. Okay. All right. Round number 3. I feel like Crop Shot's up 2 rounds to none. Koonman needs a finisher. Now, this is Contender Series, so I mean, potentially they both need a finish because Crop Shot, while he's been in complete control of this fight and has showed some good skills, you need to win impressively. And yes, he is the underdog beating the heavily favored Koonman, but that might not be enough to get you a contract. Still, Crop Shot is the guy pushing forward. So I wonder if Koonman fights at welterweight sometimes because he doesn't look as shredded as he did in his picture. He looked absolutely shredded. We're going to have to look at records here and look at some of his past fights and see if maybe he's normally a welterweight fighter. That could be part of it. He may have moved up a weight class for this opportunity. Sometimes guys do that, and sometimes it doesn't work out very well. Man, Koonman's just not finding his range. Oh, we caught him with a good shot, but man, it didn't seem to phase Crop Shot. And we've still not seen a takedown attempt by Koonman that I remember. It's been all stand-up and Crop Shot with one successful takedown, I believe, and another one where Koonman was able to sprawl. Koonman landing a few shots. Okay, I am looking on YouTube and I'm not seeing it. Let me go see if I can go to the actual UFC page or UFC channel. Ooh, something happened there. I looked away. Crop Shot, did he go for a takedown again and fail? Sorry, trying to find out for sure if it is on YouTube. I don't believe so. Like I said, tomorrow night, Thursday at the latest, I will do a fighter breakdown for the co-main event for Saturday's numbered UFC. I believe we're on 3:30, aren't we? And then the day after that, I will do a breakdown of the main event. Looking on UFC's YouTube channel. Go to channel. I do not believe. No, it. Okay, so if you are in the United States, Contender Series is only on Paramount Plus. Okay, so that is the answer to that question. So I hope you have Paramount Plus so you can watch it. Adam. Oh. Thanks for the comments, guys. I like getting comments. I've had 3 comments now on YouTube. No comments on any of my other streams. Oh, Koonman goes for a takedown, but does not get it thus far. Oh, he's got prop shots back. Prop shot defending so far. Doesn't have the body triangle. He's got some. Oh, man. Good defense by Koonman there. Oh, man, now Koonman's got him in an armbar. That was a crazy transition. If he finishes the undefeated fighter here, this is going to be wild. Oh, and he's got... Oh, he almost had it. He's giving the thumbs up. His arm is bending all kinds of ways it probably shouldn't bend. And was that the bell? I believe that was the bell. Wow. So I'm saying that's 3 rounds for Crop Shot. I don't know if it's enough to get him a contract. Being the underdog and winning all 3 rounds, I don't know if that gets you a contract or not. It just depends on what the other fights look like tonight. I will tell you guys at the end of the main or the final fight of the night, the 5th fight, who I think is going to get the contracts. It's the first show, so they're kind of conservative on the first episode of who gets contracts. If you're impressive but not quite impressive enough, you get invited back. Sometimes you'll get a last-minute fight on a UFC card. But just winning does not guarantee you a contract on this. Drink. Yeah, I think Crop Shot won all 3 rounds. So our next fight, odds are much, much closer. And when we look at the fighters' records, we can see why. Change my camera view while I look over here. All right. So let's get out of this. See, yeah, look at how shredded Koonman was there. I think he fights a lot of fights at 170. 186, I'm guessing, is what he weighed in for this fight. But let's look back here really quick. Let's see what he fought at his last fight. I feel like this guy could have been a welterweight pretty easily. No, he fought at middleweight there. Let's look at a couple more. Let's see here. Let's just look back at a random one here. Yeah, took away that. Oh. Okay, Koonman. Middleweight. Now, it's showing that he fights at middleweight. Huh. Interesting. He looks way more ripped in that picture. Maybe that picture was right after weighing in. Oop. Went back too far. Too many clicks. All right, so let's look at the fighters for our next fight of the night. So we had an upset in the first fight. So I believe Malumba is the favorite in this. He's 10-3-0, 100% finishing rate, 5 KOs and 5 submissions. So that's pretty impressive. The losses: one loss by a knockout, one loss by a submission, one loss by a decision. Likes to mix things up, I guess. Has a loss to Marlon Rahiki, fighter we've been talking about in the last few days or last few live streams, because they're saying he's going to fight Rahiki versus the training partner of Sean O'Malley. I'll look back at his name here in a minute. Let's see. So it's got a loss to Rahiki. Well, where are these guys? 145. Man, that dude does not look like a 145 pounder. How tall is he? 5'9". Don't recognize any other names on his record other than the loss to Rahiki. Did make it to the second round with him. Let's look at his opponent. Man, he did everything to try to finish that fight, though. He's a little bruised up, man. Sometimes grazing blows can leave more marks on you than direct hits. And that may be what happened there on the right side of his forehead and cheekbone. All right. Looking at Tom Pagliarulo. Sorry, I didn't see the G. It's probably Italian. Fought in PFL and won by a TKO back in August of last year. He's been out for about a year. We're in August now, aren't we? He's been out a year. Not recognizing any of the names on his resume here. Cody Jenkins, maybe. I don't know. Got 10-2, 8 knockouts, 1 submission, and 1 win by decision. He got submitted once. How did he get submitted? By an arm bar. And he lost one by a decision. But like I said, odds are very close on this one. Those are really close odds. Not quite pick 'em, but pretty close. All right. So they're showing Pagliarulo right now. Showing Ananias Mulumba. That's a fun name to say. I almost want him to win just because of that name. 5-time national champion in Kyokushin Karate. That's interesting. Japanese full contact style of karate. Showing an advertisement for the UFC BJJ on August 20th. Oh, and there goes my keyboard. Should be doing a live stream for all of those matchups. I usually do for the UFC BJJ. This will be my first time doing Dana White's Contender series because I just started live streaming like this year. I previously did a podcast with my friend and former jiu-jitsu coach Tom. Part of last year we did a podcast about weekly, but this year I decided to change things up when the UFC came to Paramount and do live streams for every UFC event. I've missed only a few if I'm out of town or something, or if it's some random event in China in the middle of the night, or might not get up at 2 in the morning and do a live stream, but I did for the one down in Australia, and I had a bunch of people on that live stream. I was really surprised, and that was a really good card, so I was glad I got up early for that one. All right, getting ready for our second fight of the night. Yeah, I didn't switch my cameras back, sorry. All right. So they're showing Tom Pagliarolo. Man, that's a tough one to pronounce. Pagliarulo. That's what I'm going with. Man, he looks pretty good. Let's see the highlights of his opponent here. They do live streams for just about every UFC event, numbered and fight night cards. Doing the Contender series now. Like I said, I will probably just do the final fight of the night, since they do start at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday. From here out, I'll watch all the rest while I do my workout, and then I'll be up here for the final fight of the night and give you my picks for who's going to get contracts at the end of the final fight. Then I also, like I said, I do UFC BJJ, and then some other just random MMA events. Sometimes ONE FC if it's on Prime. What else? Done them for BKFC fights sometimes. Don't currently have a subscription to BKFC, but I usually I only do that if a friend of mine, old training partner, is fighting on it, which has happened several times. And then Karate Combat, if it's one that's been advertised enough that I know it's happening, I'll try to do a live stream sometimes for Karate Combat. And we'll see what happens with the Professional Grappling Federation this year, because I really like their format. I would like to do live streams. I think they're going to be streaming on Kick and maybe not on YouTube this time around. So I'm seeing they're doing a lot of stuff on Kick. Maybe they'll have their events on both. Speaking of Kick, somebody else popped onto the stream on Kick. Thanks for joining us. We are watching Dana White's Contender series. This is the first episode of the new season, and it's the first season on Paramount. First matchup went to the underdog. Went to Joseph Cropshot over Jonathan Koonman. Koonman was favored to win, coming in at 10-0 with a 100% finishing rate. But Cropshot just picked him apart, had him in a really tight armbar at the end of the last round. He's kind of saved by the bell. My favorite referee is in there right now, Mike Beltran. Guys, I got to tell you, and I don't like to totally crap on Herb Dean, but everybody's kind of been talking trash about him lately. I do think Herb Dean has had a few really good events in the last few weeks. I can't remember any bad calls. I know he had 3 or 4 events in a row where there were bad calls and he got a lot of grief for it. Some of them were really bad, like the one with Alex Pereira and Cyril Gahn. But I saw a picture and it had had Herb Dean and it had Mike Beltran in it. And it said, are these two of the two best referees in the business? And one of the comments on there said that Mike Beltran's mustache is a better referee than Herb Dean. I thought that was pretty funny. My wife says that's messed up. I don't know. Like I said, he seems to have done better, you know, the last few events. But I mean, the White House event, of course, caught a lot of grief for the co-main event. And then I believe there was maybe a fight the week before that, and then a fight the week after that. He had like 3 or 4 weeks in a row of what people thought were really, really horrible calls. But in the last month, I don't remember him making any what I would call huge mistakes or bad calls. So we got to call it like we see it, and he has done a little bit better recently, but I don't know if he's reffed as big of fights either. I don't know if he's reffed any of the main events or co-mains. Maybe on the smaller shows. All right. So, fight is starting. So, a lot of movement by Malumba. Rulo lands a good right hand, catches, oh, and then he gets dropped. Okay, so both guys went down, and now we got Pagliarulo in on a takedown attempt, coming back up with a good knee as they come back up by Tom. We're just going to say Tom, so I don't have to pronounce his name each time. So there's been a bunch of action. We've seen some craziness here. These guys look like they want to put on more of a show than the first two fighters did. Not that they did anything wrong in that first fight. It just didn't feel. It felt like nerves got to Koonman a little bit. A lot of pressure coming in undefeated. Tom in the red shorts here needs to pick it up a little bit. Well, I mean, he did get dropped his opponent when he was standing on one foot. There was a lot of action in the first like 20 seconds of the round. Oh, he got tagged with another right, and now he's going for a double. So it looks like we got a power advantage for Malumba, which to look at them, understandable. He's definitely got a lot more muscle packed onto his frame than Tom does. Oh. Couple good shots back by Tom, though. Malumba really pushing forward. Winging some big shots there. Didn't really catch him. And we're seeing stance switches by Malumba, and Tom is staying orthodox. Ooh, big inside low kick. Just takes the leg right out from under Tom. Oh, again, eating up that inside leg. Tom needs to check that inside low kick. That would make him not want to throw it if he got a good check on that. Hurt his shin or foot. Sometimes guys are so quick, though. It's tough. I've experienced that myself. And Tom gets a takedown, but Malumba looks like he's getting back up. No, now Tom's got his back. He's still down on one knee and one hand. Knees to the thigh by Tom. Not a bad tactic. Malumba gets back up. Both fighters throw and land a couple shots. Oh, man. Tom comes in with a 1-2, but then gets caught with another right hand. Malumba switches stances again. Outside low kick by Malumba now. Another outside low kick. Ooh, Tom goes high with a right head kick. Comes back in on another double. Looks like he might get it. Oh, gets reversed in the headlock, but then comes back up on top again. Malumba doesn't look like he's really a big-time grappler, but his strength makes up for it. I do believe he was 50-50 on his submissions and knockouts in his career. Now Malumba goes for a double, but doesn't get it. The round ends. I would say higher pace than the first fight for sure. Of course, these guys are lighter weight too. They're featherweights compared to middleweights. There's going to be a lot more action. Oh. Numbers jumped up on YouTube and then fell back off. Yeah, both guys dropped each other in that first round. Man, that first 20 seconds was nuts. All right. Round number 2 coming at us. Since I stopped showing replays here. Okay, here we go. All right, round 2 is on. Yeah, I would say Malumba got round 1. Probably. I mean, Tom did get a takedown or two, but aggression definitely to Malumba. Damage probably to Malumba. Although neither guy, wearing it on their face really. A little bit of a mark. Oh, and bloody nose, I guess now, but on Tom. Yeah, Tom may also have some swelling up here on the left side of his forehead. Oh. Let's go. Handline Tommy? Oh, is that? It must be his nickname. Somebody knows the guy fighting right now. They call him Tanline Tommy. I don't know. Is that really his nickname? You know him personally? I Grow Fighting? Okay. On YouTube? Is that really his nickname? I could see Tanline Tommy. That makes sense. He's a pretty white guy there. I'm not saying he's pretty. He's very white. That's what I'm saying. Beltran don't care. Oh my gosh, bunch of comments. I made it up, brother. No, I don't know him well. Okay. You just made that up. That's a pretty good one. Tanline Tommy is a lot easier to say than Pagliarulo. I think I finally got it right. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for commenting I Grow Fighting on YouTube. I will say that Malumba looks like he may have slowed down a little bit. Still lands a big left hook there, though. But not wobbling or knocking him off balance like he was in the first round. Sometimes when guys have a little bit more muscle packed on them, they get tired easier. I didn't see where he moves like Sandhagen. Okay, yeah. I can see that a little bit. Where was he from? Try to look wide. Where is Tan Line Tommy Pagliarulo from? It's from Haven Hill, Massachusetts. Oh, the big left hook, but it doesn't seem to be phasing him like the first round for sure. Oh, and he's getting a few good shots of his own in. I would say round two, a little bit more even. Maybe even going to Pagliarulo. He's getting whooped by physicality. A little bit, yeah. But definitely having a better... I feel like he's doing better in round two than he was in round one. A little bit slower by Malumba. Ooh, that inside low kick hit the groin now. He didn't seem to care. It's not been a bad groin shot. Man, good elbow in there too. He's getting more aggressive. He might maybe be winning this round. It's close though, man. I definitely would give round one to Malumba for the damage. But this round, it looks to me like Pagliarulo has landed more. Oh, okay, now he's getting back up a little bit. Oh, good knee to end the round. Hopefully don't let him get another shot in. I kind of feel like it's round to round. Beltran's, you don't like Beltran? I think Beltran, I feel like Beltran and Mark Goddard are probably two of the better referees right now. What referee you like the best? No, people don't generally have, oh, that's my favorite referee, but you know, we're in an age where we talk about referees a lot because we've had some mistakes in fights. We've had some controversy. Fun fight. I'll say 1-1 as well. Okay, cool. We're in agreement. What happened to my preview over here on Rumble? It's not moving. Stop moving for some reason. Ah! I've thought Beltran was one of the worst refs for 10 years, really. Huh. I just can't think of a lot of fights where I thought he made a lot of mistakes. It's a tough job, man. We used to do inter-school tournaments and tournaments with some other, kids from other towns and other gyms when we taught kickboxing here in Grand Junction. And I always insisted my wife ref. I never wanted the responsibility. Like, I'll coach both sides. You ref. People need to give Herb a break. Like I said, I try not to, crap all over the guy. He's made some mistakes, but he has done better in the last month, I would say. I don't remember anything where I was like, oh, that's a horrible call, And I've made the point on some of those when one ref makes a bad call, somebody else will make a bad call the opposite way later on in the night. He's going for a Darce, and he lost it, but he's on top. Tan Line Tommy doing pretty good this round. Got top position, landing some shots, went for a Darce choke. Oh, the one shot. Yeah, I think Tommy wanted to continue. I think Tommy was the one that got a foul, and he said, "No, I'm good." And so the referee didn't separate him. He was coming in to separate him. It's reminiscent of Alex Pereira against Jamal Hill, except without the knockout immediately after. Which, that was so goofy because, I mean, they touched gloves, and it was like 3 seconds before he caught Jamal with that shot. So Jamal saying, "Well, I wasn't ready," was ridiculous. Man, I definitely think Pagliarulo is going to get the win here. Has he done? Has he done enough to get a contract? That is the question. A finish is what he, all these fights, man, you really got to be looking for the finish. And he did go for the Darce a little bit ago. And if he could get past, well, now he can't get an arm triangle because he's too close to the fence. He's got him bleeding bad. Oh, and once again, looking like he's trying for a Darce. Oh, man. He could potentially hit a Japanese necktie. That would be sick, man. I don't know if I know there's been a few fighters. There was a fighter on one of the fight nights a few weeks ago who had won by a Japanese necktie, saw on his record. I went with that guy and he lost. You know what? It was the dude that lost to Chanko. I said he was going to win solely on the fact that he had a win by a Japanese necktie. Oh, we got a lot more comments here from Hydro Fighting. I'll read them here in just a minute when this round ends. Somebody else popped up on YouTube and somebody else on Kick. Thanks for joining us. We were watching Dana White's Contender Series, Week 1. Man, I like the heart of Pagliarulo. And he stops him. I think that's a contract, man. We're gonna have to see how the other fights look, but Dana White looks pretty happy, and so do the matchmakers. I think he's gonna get a contract. He just needs to hope that, like, the next few fights. So that's underdogs in the first 2 fights of the night won. Let me read the rest of your comments here. Fine. He ain't getting signed like this. Getting brutal now. Woo. Yeah, I think getting the finish when he was the underdog and he got caught with some big shots in round 1, coming back and controlling rounds 2 and 3 and getting the finish. Unless there's just some crazy barn burners the rest of the night, I think he may get a contract. And then we're going to have to learn to pronounce his name correctly. I'm saying it's Pagliarulo. Sounds Italian. He doesn't necessarily look Italian. He almost has red hair. All right. All right. So let's, while we wait for the announcement and everything. I'm going to switch my camera view. And I'm going to look at our next fight. Okay, so this is our big odds favorite here. Not the guy I'm looking at right now. He's 9-1. So, I mean, that doesn't sound bad. He has a 100% finish rate. Has finished all 9 of his fights, 5 by submission and 4 by KO. So his only loss is on the road to the UFC Season 4 back in May of last year, where he got knocked out. He was in the quarterfinals, and then he won a fight since then. And he was undefeated going into that road to the UFC fight. 2017. Wow, that's a big gap. So he had his first pro fight in 2017 and then didn't fight again until 2021. That's interesting. Let's see if we any odd submissions. No, we see any triangle choke, arm bar, triangle choke. So looks like he likes the triangle choke. Has 2 of those wins by triangle choke. Let's look at his opponent though and see why he is such a huge favorite. He is undefeated 8-0. So 2 less fights than his opponent. But he has a 88% finishing rate. It's my math. Wow. Almost won no contest in his second fight. He's had all 8 of these fights since 2022, so that's a pretty busy schedule. He's called the Indo Ninja. I believe he's from Indonesia, but now fights out of Everett, Washington in the United States. That is why he is the favorite. I didn't recognize any of the names on his resume here, so none of these guys that I know of are in the UFC already. Yeah, he is a huge favorite. What is on my screen here? Oh, sorry, I gotta get rid of those. All right, where'd my previews go? There we go. What's that about? All right, sorry. All right, I do have other slides pulled up today. What that is. All right, so he is the minus 2,500 favorite. That's a huge, huge favorite. So if the underdog were to win in this fight, you were to bet on him, you're going to win some money. Just saying. I'm not sure what's going on here.
All the paras in the entire school
Oh,
are
yeah, there we go.
in and out of first grade
All right.
the entire day.
So, getting ready for our 3rd fight of the night. They're interviewing Tom Pagliarulo right now. Got the upset win by a finish. Rear naked choke in round number 3.
But Mom got to spend a lot of the day in Christian's class with a dream, a kid that
All right.
licked Christian.
So, we got a few more of you popping up on Rumble and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Oh, we got more comments. Bilal is Lorosenko buddy or something. I've seen his name before. Okay. Wonder, I know she trains some. Maybe he's somebody she trains with. Follow her. I do follow her on Facebook, and she has some good submission moves. It was funny because I believe I saw her doing a move that I invented. Well, I think I invented it. I was the first person to popularize it on YouTube, called the Puppet Master. This is up on YouTube and on my Rumble. Oh, not previous, not live. But yeah, she was showing a move on one of her Facebook reels. I do believe it was the Puppet Master. I don't know what she called it, but I had to share my original video of us demonstrating that from like 15, 16 years ago. Oh, I'm going to change my camera view again. All right, we're done looking at records of the next two guys. Okay. So Bilal Hassan coming up in the next fight. Huge favorite. But we have seen the underdogs have a really good night so far. Yeah, I don't think our winner in the first fight is necessarily going to get a contract. It all depends on what these next three fights look like. If they're blowouts and one fighter just looks super impressive, or if they're like Fight of the Night caliber where it just goes back and forth the whole time, that can affect whether these earlier fighters get contracts. We'll give you my predictions on the contracts after the final fight. Right now, I'm saying yes to Pagliarulo and probably no to Cropshot, but I could see him definitely getting invited back for another fight on the Contender series, especially since this is the first episode or first week and we got 10 weeks. He could come back at a later one this year and get a shot. She talked about Bilal in an interview prior to the show a few hours ago. Cool. So maybe somebody she trains with, works out with some at the gym. Or maybe she's just seen his fights and is familiar with him. But oh, I was wondering, guys, I can think of one fighter who got his contract on the Contender series and became champion, and it's Sean O'Malley. You guys remember if anyone else has? I'm sure I could ask AI and get an answer, but I want to see if you guys know. I can't think of another one. I do believe our fighter that won, Quillen Salkild, yeah, he was definitely on the Contender series like last season, maybe the season before, and now is, number 6 in the world after the rankings got updated this week. I almost feel like he could be number 5, and he's definitely going to fight a top 5 guy next. I know there's a lot of talk of BSD. I would not mind seeing him fight Paddy Pimblett. I just hate to see an undefeated, he lost his first fight, didn't he? A guy with that kind of record who is like just flying up through the rankings fight somebody coming off of a loss doesn't feel right to me, even if they're ranked one spot higher than him. I would rather see him fight Paddy. Bilal Hassan, huh? Indonesia, now living in Washington State. What gym does he fight out of up there? Is he out of the same gym? Isn't that he is out of Charlie's Combat Club. It's Charlie's Combat Club. See if any notable fighters are out of that gym. I'm not recognizing any names here. Oh, there's more people out of that gym, though. A lot of fighters out of that gym, obviously. Just haven't seen any names that pop out at me. Hmm. Man, tons of fighters out of that gym. Holy smokes, a lot of fighters list that as their gym. Well, I need to punch in 8th Street Gym where I used to train and teach out of and see how many fighters pop up. That'd be interesting. Joe Holt. Man. Tons and tons of fighters. I still haven't seen any names that I know. But there's a lot. Grange. Tommy Nugent. That sounds familiar. Did he fight in the UFC? Let's click on him really quick. Tommy Nugent. No. No, that's everybody. All right, well. Huh. Interesting. A lot of fighters out of that gym, but I do not recognize any of their names. Miranda Granger. Let's click on her. Oh, I went too soon. She's got her picture. 7-3. Okay, so I did think that I recognize that name. She is a UFC fighter. Not the most successful. She has 1 win and 3 losses in the UFC, but she fought Amanda Lemos, who we just saw this last weekend. She fought her back in 2019. She beat Hannah Goldie. I do vaguely remember that fight, and she lost to Ashley Yoder and to Corey McKenna back in, okay, so she's probably not under contract with the UFC anymore, and she has not fought since that loss. 7-3, all 3 of those losses in the UFC, and had 1 win in the UFC. I did think that name. What about this girl? She's got her picture by her face too. She fight in the UFC? No. Did make it to Invicta, 8-7. Who's up at the top there? Landon Showalter? Welterweight? Fought Shoney Carter in 2011. Okay, this guy hasn't fought in a long time. That's crazy. I cornered for Shoney Carter when he fought here in Grand Junction. Wasn't a great night for Shoney Carter. But it was awesome to get to be in one of my idols when I first started fighting's corner. I still keep up with Shoney Carter on Facebook. UFC and early MMA legend for sure. Unfortunately, he was just kind of towards the end of his career. I'm going, oh, you're going to go with the underdog. You got these Brazilian. Whoa, all right. I got these Brazilian garlic sauce flavored Lay's chips. They okay, but the aftertaste is heavy. Okay, well, thanks. Interesting. What brand are those? I might have to try this. I'm going with Sakai over Hassan. Going with the underdog. Woo. Now, he is now the minus 5,000 favorite. Plus 1,400 dog is Sakai. Sakai? I don't know. Murdul. Herb Dean roughing. And we are on round number 1. Wow, I will say right now, Hassan's facial expression, this guy looks like he's playing chess here. Or checkers or something. He's super relaxed. Ooh, good outside low kick, though, by his opponent, Sakai. Remember, this guy was undefeated, too, until that fight on... oh! This might be over. Hassan is just pummeling. All right, ref, stop. All right. That was a good stoppage. Maybe he could have stopped it a little sooner, but I'm not going to complain. He's given the guy the benefit of the doubt. Yeah, that kid's a freaking beast, man. Holy smokes. What was that? That was less than a minute. Less than a minute of round number 1. Once again, my preview over here on Rumble looks like it's not live. What is going on? Gonna wrestle over him. Yeah. Oh, they're Lay's chips? Huh. Well, I guess you picked that one wrong. I crow fighting. But, man, sometimes it's good to go with the underdog, especially when the underdogs have been winning all night. But we see why this kid was so favored. Holy smokes, man. Lands that right hand, drops him. He's still with it. He's still trying to defend and use his legs here. He's trying to grab his opponent's leg, but he's just taking hammer fists and punches. Yeah, it could be a stop right there. You let him take about 3 more punches. I'm not going to, harp on him for that. Was not a bad stoppage. That kid gets a contract. 100%. There's no way he does not get a contract. Does the beautiful moonwalk afterwards. Like I said, he looks so relaxed. He looked like he was reading a book or something. I mean, it wasn't even playing chess or a game or something. It was like, wow. Absolutely, definitely getting a contract. And apparently he likes Michael Jackson dances. He's doing all kinds of Michael Jackson moves here. Right. If you are just joining us, we are watching Dana White's Contender Series, episode 1 for this season. Or week 1, I guess. We just saw a crazy knockout. The first favorite to actually win tonight. Underdogs won the first 2. I'm 100% sure that this kid, Bilal, we're going to remember his name. Kind of like Bilal Muhammad's nickname, remember the name. Bilal Hassan is definitely absolutely 100% getting a contract. I don't like to speak in absolutes, but my gosh. Knockout in the first minute of the first round on the Contender Series. I doubt anybody's done that and not gotten a contract. Poor Tom Pagliarulo had a finish in the 3rd round of a fight where he probably lost round 1, got rocked multiple times in round 1, came back, controlled round 2, and then finished his opponent, Malumba, in round number 3. And normally I think he would get a contract, but if the fights keep looking like that, it's going to be tough. Because I know the first week they're kind of conservative with the contracts, but I think if you get a finish, you got a pretty darn good shot at getting a contract. My numbers going up and down and up and down on all streaming platforms tonight. I'm streaming on YouTube, Rumble, and on Kick tonight. If I'm not doing a watch along live stream and I'm just talking MMA news, I will also have it on Facebook. But I cannot stream live on Facebook this way for some reason. You can't change your privacy settings until after it's done being live, so kind of just use that for advertising for the Rumble stream. This is my first night of streaming my MMA live stream on Kick. Numbers have been going up and down on there too. But whatever you're watching on, thanks. And if you are watching on YouTube and you could click on the referral link and follow me on Rumble, that would be fantastic. It's like I said, I don't do all my, and tomorrow I may start the stream on everything and then drop off of YouTube because I will be watching some UFC fights on a really small portion of my screen, and I know YouTube doesn't like that. They don't take your video down, but they just tell you that if it ever gets monetized, all the money's going to the UFC, which I'd rather you just watch it on Rumble. Plus, I'm pretty much giving free advertising to the UFC and giving my picks and doing reviews on the fights. All right, waiting for the fourth fight of the night, so we should probably look at that fight. That was such a crazy result there in that one. All right, so thus far we saw Cropshot get the decision. We saw Pagliarulo win by a rear naked choke in the last round. And we saw Bilal Hassan win in less than a minute of the first round by a TKO. That may have been a KO. I don't know what you call that. It was referee stoppage, but he definitely looked out of it, like completely out on a couple shots. All right, so let's look at this one. Who's the favorite in this one? Pretty close odds. Escariga is the slight favorite. Why? It looks all weird on my TV. I don't know why. Every time they show the yeah, it doesn't do that except for when they show their pictures. All right. So let's look at him first. Which is easy because he's on the left side. He's 9-1. So the fighter with one loss is the favorite in this one over the undefeated fighter. So that's interesting. Just a slight favorite, though. He has one loss by a TKO due to an arm injury. So that could have been anything. He could have got an arm broken blocking a kick or something. Who knows? Arm injury, TKO. Has one decision and the rest are finishes. Oh, I do not recognize the names of any of his opponents. Let me see. I'm honestly not super familiar with the event that he fought. Any of these events he's fought on. Had one amateur fight also back in 2017, according to this. Had all those fights since November 13th of 2020. Pretty wild. 9-1. see here. Let's look at his opponent. He is 8-0, undefeated. 4 wins by knockout, 3 by submission, and 1 by a decision. So that is a 88% finishing rate. Wait, no. The numbers don't add up there. All right. We're going to go with 88%. Wait. Yeah. 88% finishing rate. TKO in September of 2025. Submission, TKO, TKO, decision, TKO, submission, submission. And 6-0 as an amateur. And mostly finishes as an amateur also. It's pretty impressive. He is the man at the cage right now. Dearborn, Michigan. I'm not sure where he's originally from. He had a different flag there. I have no idea what country that flag is from. It's got a little Christmas tree in between 2 red lines. What country's flag has a green Christmas tree in between 2 red lines? Not Canada. Lebanon has a green cedar tree in the center of the flag on a white stripe, which is bordered by 2 red stripes. Lebanon. It's not Canada. Canada is a maple leaf, babe. All right. So, originally from Lebanon. Where's his opponent from? Opponent at the cage right now. He is from Mexico. Baja California, Mexico. I think I'm going with Abe. You're right. I don't know. It's kind of wild that the fighter with 1 loss is not the favorite. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who I'm going with in this one. Where does Abe train out of now? I didn't see that. Abe trains out of, it doesn't tell us, but he lives in Dearborn, Michigan. All right. Getting ready here, and we'll switch my camera. Mike Beltran roughing again. All right. Now let's switch this to the left camera. Okay. Here we go. Round number 1, 4th fight of the night. Our fighter in the red is the favorite from Mexico. Abe Alisgir out of Lebanon. In on a double. They've traded some strikes. I don't know if anybody's landed cleanly yet. Alisgir going for the takedown. Now he's in on a body lock. Escariga defending well. It's got what in 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu they call 100% here. Whoop. And now he has control. He's got the underhook. and has Alice Gear pushed against the fence. Christian, stop doing that to the gate, please. Knee to the body. Now he's got dumbbell underhooks. You're going with, okay, so iGrow Fighting is going with Abe by a KO. I didn't even realize these are new shorts. That's cool. They have a little UFC on the leg, and then may have dropped in there. Now he's back in on a double. I do like the new shorts. Those are cool. And haven't they? I feel like they've used those light blue gloves usually. It's a crazy position. Okay, now we got Escariga on top. Oof. He has a full Nelson going right here. He could get a submission with this. Nope. Lets it go. I believe there's a submission from a very similar position called the Scarecrow, which I've only ever seen done once in a little inter-school jiu-jitsu tournament we had at 8th Street Gym in its heyday. Some good punches by Abe there. Oof, good body kick by Abe. Escariga comes back in. Ooh, good hands by the fighter from Mexico. Who would have thought? Boxing's so popular in Mexico. A lot of times you see fighters from there have pretty darn good hands. Okay. Once again, he's got Abe back. Abe's back against the fence. He's got the underhook again. Landing some good knees, separates and goes back to the punches. Big left high kick, hits on the arm of Escariga. Escariga always has the octagon control here. And Al-Sagir back in on a double. Some elbows to the side of the head. Dang. Trying for that takedown, but he picks him up, but he comes right back down on his feet. Trying to pin his opponent's arm behind his back. Oh, lets it go and throws a left hook, and Escariga bobbed and weaved under that. Good inside low kick by Al-Sagir. Oh, trading punches. Man, Abe might have rocked him there. Oh, but he gets rocked with a shot. This is a good fight, man. Oh, is he going to finish this takedown? And he doesn't. And that's the end of the round. Whoop. Reset timer. Man, that's kind of a tough round to call. I would probably lean towards fighter from Mexico, Escariga. Fabrizio Escariga. Fun name to say. Abe Al-Sagir. Unless I can pronounce these names. I think I'm pronouncing them right. All right, we got a few on kick again, guys. Thank you for joining us. Leave me a comment in the chat if you would like. If you are watching on Rumble, I really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody watching, but I'd like to see more on Rumble so I can get do a ad read and make a little bit of money. We just saw Anthony Fluffy Hernandez in the crowd. He's got a fight coming up. Is that 2 weeks? We have the numbered UFC. Where are we at? Is that UFC 330? I believe there's been 330 numbered UFC events now. 2 title shots this weekend. So I will be doing a live stream either tomorrow night or Thursday night, and I will do my breakdown of the co-main event, women's title fight with challenger Jillian Robertson versus the champion currently, Mackenzie Dern. I'll watch a few of their fights and break down who I think. I won't definitely give you predictions, but I will like tell you what I feel as far as who's good at what. Obviously, they're both big time grapplers. I did watch I was looking through Mackenzie Dern stuff on YouTube last night, and I found a grappling match of her versus Fiona Davies, I believe, on in a jiu-jitsu or a no-gi grappling match, and Davies did submit her with an armbar, which I found interesting. It was only a couple years ago. I think it was 2024. But I mean, when you're a world jiu-jitsu champion and then you decide you're going to do MMA and you have to split time between, you know, your jiu-jitsu and your kickboxing and your wrestling and your cardio and everything else that you got to train. Well, they gave him his mouth guard back, and they're trying to put him back in the same position. Sorry, guys, I got a little distracted talking about that and kind of lost track of what's happening in this fight. I feel like it's been, I think Escariga won round 1. It looks like he's in control here of round 2. Oh, they're saying his knee was down when he landed that knee to the head. Let's see the replay. Oh, we gotta stop the timer. I hate it when this happens. Pause. Okay, up, knee hit. Okay, I'm not sure. Was that legal? I was looking at comments. So I think his knee actually touched after he made contact. I was reading the comment and I missed the replay. But it did look like that knee landed before his knee touched the mat. Oof. Good shots there. It's been a fairly close matchup here. I'd probably lean just a little bit towards Escariga, but it's been fairly close. But, you know, these guys both need to be looking for a finish, especially after what happened in that last fight. Even a good fight and winning on a unanimous decision, there's a chance you don't get a contract, especially it being the first week of the Contender series. Good punches by Escariga and good kick back. I never did reset the timer after that little break. All right, so getting ready for round number 3 of the second to last fight of the night. I would say Fabrizio Escariga is probably up 2 rounds, but they've been fairly close. I don't think that Abe Alasgir is in any way out of this fight. Both guys really need a finish, though. It's been a good fight, but it's not been what's really going to catch Dana White and the matchmaker's eye unless there's something huge that happens in this third round. Diego Lopez. What's next for Diego Lopez, I wonder? At one point, I know he was rumored to be fighting against Yair Rodriguez on UFC Noche, but now that's been confirmed that it's going to be Rodriguez versus Gene Silva, which is an awesome fight, and I've been asking for that fight for a few months now, so I'm psyched to see that. Yeah, UFC Noche is going to be awesome. You guys think about it being earlier in the day so that people can watch Zuffa boxing later. And you know it's going to be one of the biggest Zuffa boxing events, and I will probably watch it. I don't know if I'll live stream for both that day. I got to look at that and make sure that's not the weekend I'm working. Here's where he really needs to look to get something, some sort of submission or finish him with ground and pound. He needs to do something to really catch the eye of Dana White and the matchmakers at ringside, cage side. It does have a vice grip, is what we used to call this, which is a setup for potentially. Oh, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna go for a Japanese necktie? Oh, he let it go. Man, when I saw him step over that leg, having that vice grip, I was like all excited. Maybe we're gonna see the first Japanese necktie in a UFC related event, because I don't know if we've ever seen that. If somebody's won by a Japanese necktie in the UFC, I'm not aware of it. I tried for one time. I wish I had gotten it because it would have been awesome, but I also was glad that I didn't because I would have retired after it. All right, so we are round number 3. What happened here? How did things suddenly turn directions? And we got Alsagir on the back of Escariga, but he doesn't have the hook on the one side. Oh, he's gonna get reversed. Now he's going for a Kimura. grab it under his own leg. That's what you got to do to defend that. Oh, now he's muscling out. No comments over on Kick yet. Maybe the chat's not working. I don't know. I don't know how chat works on Kick. This is my first time streaming my MMA live stream on Kick. Ground strikes 20-4 for Esparriga. He's messing with the leg. They're both fighters trying to attack a leg. Old coach I know used to call this the leg lock battle to the death. Heel hook, but he's getting out. Spinning out. He's shooting back in. Also, Gear gets on top mostly, and Esparriga is coming up.
Are you taking Sarah's shots?
What's that? Screen turned all funny.
Today when we went,
Well, it's been a pretty crazy fight. Well, why my screen did that? Something weird with the display port on my other Mac, I guess. All right, that is the end of that round. I would probably think that Fabricio Escarriga is going to get the decision on that. I don't think he's going to get a contract, though. Probably going to have to come back for a later episode on the Contender series. So let's look at our last fight of the night. Wint versus Adams. Wint is a huge favorite. These are heavyweights. It's a minus 1100 favorite. This means if you bet on Adams and he wins, you're going to get a lot of money. If you bet on Wint and he wins, you get a little bit. All right, so let's look at Adams' record for 6-2. Both guys have 6 wins, but Adams has lost a couple. Okay. Bad Adams. Okay, weird nickname. He's fought in LFA and Ohio Combat League. We recognize any names on his resume here, Cameron. Not really. Been pretty active. All of his fights have happened since March 3rd of 2023. Okay, so let's look at his opponent. I didn't look at the age. Not that age really matters that much with heavyweights. Okay, so Anthony Wint, Bow Down. That's his nickname. He's 31 years old, 6-0. Fought in March and won by a TKO. Has 1 win by a split decision, and the rest are finishes. All 6 of his fights have happened since 2023. Gear won by split decision. Wow. I thought that was going to go the other way, but close fight, and I don't think he's going to contract regardless. So, yeah, he's been active. Let's look at Adams really quick. He's the younger fighter. He just fought in March. Both guys just fought in March, is that right? See, his last fight was in March too. Yeah, both guys just fought in March. Both guys have 6 wins. But Matthew Adams has 2 losses to go with those 6 wins. I don't know. Like I said, not really giving predictions tonight because who knows. Are you saying because of that judge's decision? Igro fighting? All right. 3 of you on Rumble now. Rumble's doing the best at this point. All right. What's your pick on this last fight? I mean, obviously odds are with Went. Yeah, looking at the scorecards, one judge had all 3 rounds to Escariga. And then the other 2 judges had rounds 2 and 3, both for Alcigir. Mike Bell and Chris Lieben. Wow. All right, if Chris Lieben says it, I'm going with it. Sal Diamato went the other way, though. Huh. Chris Lieben, an old favorite UFC fighter of mine for sure. He thought he saw enough from Alcigir to get the judge's decision. Interesting. Really interesting. It's been a good night for underdogs. So, man, Matthew Adams, we've had 1 favorite win out of 4 fights. Still nothing in the chat on Kick. I don't even know how I look back on Kick and see how many total views I got. One thing I've streamed so far on Kick other than tonight was I have turtles in my backyard and I stream them live when I'm not getting ready to stream an MMA live stream or doing a gaming stream or something. Yeah, I think Alcigir could potentially come back, fight again, and his opponent. I think both guys we could see them back. They both looked like pretty good fighters. Don't think there's going to be a contract on this one. Let's review really quick here. I do have other slides, but I'll get to them a different night. I really just want to concentrate on these fights tonight. So yeah, thus far, Cropshot won by a unanimous decision, right? Pagliarulo won by a rear naked choke in round 3 after taking some hard shots in round number 1. Then we had Hassan just totally destroy his opponent. Then we had this fight, which is really back and forth. I mean, it was exciting, but it wasn't the most exciting action-packed fight ever. I don't think either fighter is getting a contract, winner or loser or both. As we do see that sometimes when a fight goes to a split decision. But yes, definite contract, possible contract, probably not, and probably not. So I think potentially we definitely have 1 contract and possibly 2. Now looking at the build of these 2 guys, I understand that and the undefeated record. I get why he's the favorite. He's definitely has way more muscle pack on his body than Adams does. But sometimes appearances can be deceiving. Ooh, that dude looks like he looks pretty tough. Wow. See big takedowns. I see big TKOs on the mat and knockouts and knockdowns from his feet. Man, want to see some highlights of Adams here. You're going with Wint. I haven't seen any video of Adams here. Let's see Adams. He has a book tattooed on his arm. It looks like, man. I couldn't read all that. All right. Okay, so this is how I agree with Paul Felder's take. Most impressive has been Bilal Hassan. Second has been Tom Pagliarulo. Joe Cropshot, 3, and Abe Alasagir, 4. Just about put number 4 tied with his opponent, though, because, I mean, I thought that could have gone the other way. It was very close. That's why you saw a split decision. Sometimes you see split decisions and you're like, what? What are they watching? That one was pretty close that I can understand the split decision. Is that Jamal Hill in the background walking by? With the big old belly on him now to make heavyweight. Kind of think that's a mistake, but we'll see. What's the line from Dodgeball? It's an interesting strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. I don't think, even though he says he's going to fight heavyweight, I don't think they've announced a fight for Jamal Hill at heavyweight yet. No, he's called out about a dozen heavyweights, half a dozen at least. Man, this dude is big and strong. Heavyweight division has definitely gotten more interesting recently. Let's see, do I have the heavyweight rankings pulled up? Yes, I do. Let's look at heavyweight really quick. Oh, let's refresh this because I know we did have a few changes. Let's get it to the media rankings. So we do have what? Oh, Cell Kid moved up to 6th. What is up with this? Am I on the wrong rankings? That's weird. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong weight class now. Welterweight, lightweight. Okay, so it's in the meta rankings, he is 6th. Which rankings are the official? I thought it was the media rankings. Huh. Of course, like I've said, that's the fight I want to see. Selkild versus Pimblett. I mean, the Benoit Saint Denis fight isn't a bad fight, but I hate to see a guy that just got choked unconscious and lost the fight having to fight somebody on a crazy winning streak like that. 12-1. Wait. That's before the fight. Refresh. Ooh, is Adams a big time wrestler? Hmm. Does that change your opinion? We've seen what a really good wrestler can do. So yeah, Salkeld is 13-1, hasn't lost since his pro debut. Is that right? I keep seeing posts about the guy that beat him in his first fight. Okay, I'm on the wrong thing here. Let me click on Salkeld. The dude who beat Salkeld beat him and then never fought again, and that was his only fight. Retired 1-0. Ah, right, let's scroll down here. Paulo Torabella. Let's click on this guy. 1-0. That is correct. One fight. He's 36 years old now. So he was in his late 30s, fought this young, tough fighter. He had a few amateur fights in Eternal MMA. That must be a Las Vegas or a, Australia-based event. So he had 4 amateur fights, turned pro, beat Cullen Salkeld by a rear naked choke in the 3rd round, and then retired. Interesting career. Now people are saying that's the biggest what-if story in MMA. It's now Salkeld. Look, he's ranked number 6th. I think he should be 5. He's ranked number 6 in the UFC lightweight division. Super impressive win over Gamrot. I wasn't paying attention and I didn't see Witt's highlights, but I did see that he was, I believe, a Division II state wrestling champion. So he maybe. What are the tattoos? Anytime I see like a book written on somebody like that, I want to know what it says. Could be Bible verses. I can't. Stop moving. Can't read any of it. He's moving too much. And he's got some other quote on his chest. This guy's, oh my gosh, this guy's going crazy on his way to the cage. Crawled part way and then Superman punch part way. This dude, this guy is built like oh, what's his name? Cuban guy from Cuba. It's like 40-something years old and still looks like that. Was a middleweight in the UFC and fights on, I think he's fighting on BKFC next. Ooh, does he have Robbie Lawler in his corner? That looks like Robbie Lawler to the left. Yeah. If that's Robbie Lawler, I'm even more leaning towards this guy. I think that was Robbie Lawler. Where's Witt out of? My other computer is running super slow. Killcliff. I do believe that was Robbie Lawler. Killcliff, I believe that team was formerly known as the Black Zillions. A break off from American Top Team. Is that right? They're down in Florida also. I don't know. Homestead, Florida is where he's out of. Yeah. Leaning more towards Anthony Witt now. Went now knowing that he is out of that gym. Where's Adams from? All right. Getting ready for the start of round number 1 in our final fight of the night. He's from Ohio and he's a state wrestling champ. That's pretty good. So look to see a takedown attempt pretty soon here. Yep. And he doesn't get it though. But Oh. Wow. He tried for an inside trip, and Witt just powered him over. And now he's beating the ever-loving snot out of him, and Herb Dean calls it. Dang. Then he pulls out a sword and chops off his head. Okay, it was an imaginary sword, guys. Don't freak out. Wow. Yeah, when I saw the gym he was out of, it definitely made me think Went was definitely going to win, but I mean, Adams just never got a chance, man. Pretty good wrestler, tries for that takedown and just gets powered over onto his back. I'm guessing that's a Bible verse. I do see a cross tattooed on the back of his neck also. Too bad for Matthew Adams. Maybe he'll get another shot. But dang. You know, just beat on. Wow. Dude was an animal, man. And he's training out of the right gym. That is, in fact, Robbie Lawler. Isn't it? Looks like Robbie Lawler. I got the audio turned way down, so I'm gonna turn the audio up just a little bit. Okay, so that's another contract. Not too long. 34 seconds. Okay, so let's look back at our poster here. Okay, so I'm saying Hassan definitely went, definitely, and Pagliarulo probably. Hmm. I was a football player. Dude had some power, man. My remote's not working. Right. You are just joining us. Oh, it may have just dropped off. All right. If you're just joining us, we just finished watching the last fight of the night for the first week of the Contender series. I am going with definitely Hassan and Went are definitely getting contracts, and Pagliarulo probably getting a contract, but that one a little bit closer. Depends on how generous Dana White's feeling tonight. Pagliarulo. All right, here we go. Seven and 0 heavyweight. Probably gonna be. We're gonna be seeing this dude really soon. Oh, hard low kicks to start. Adams went for that takedown, man, and just got nowhere. Yeah, Adams didn't want none of that once they hit the mat, man. What do you guys think? Who do you think's getting contract? Definitely Hassan, and Paglulo, probably. Tom, Paglulo. That guy's a monster. Yoel Romero, that's the build I'm talking about. Crazy thing is, Yoel Romero's in his 40s and still looks just like that. Crazy genetics. All right, here we go. I think this is going to be a quick one here. 2 definite contracts, possibly a third. And I don't think the 2 guys that won by decisions are getting a contract. Even though they were both underdogs. Get our results, and then I'm going to call it a night. I will be back either tomorrow or the next night, do a breakdown of the co-main event for UFC 330, and the night after that, I will do a breakdown of the main event. Talk about Mackenzie Dern versus Jillian Robertson. Then we'll talk about, oh, it's got a pinched nerve. Then we'll talk about Islam Makhachev versus Ian Gary.
Contender series, so look at our winner's run. Anthony went to this making his way back. All of these guys waiting to find out.
That kid didn't even get touched, man. Man, he looks like he's been in a fight. 2 guys that look like or 3 guys that look like they've been in fights, and 2 guys that don't look like they even broke a sweat.
You just got to sit, wait. They're not just sitting on mental heels. You got to just sit on some bumps and bruises and feel like this battle.
Hassan looks just as unnervous as he did for the fight. So at least 2 contracts, maybe a third.
What did you see tonight?
Yeah, it was a good night. All right, let's start with the first fight here. I was seriously on the fence during this fight. I didn't know. I said, let me see how this whole thing plays out. And then when he got that arm bar, I said, hell with it. I'm going to give him a shot.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I don't know how his arm is, but I would assume his arm is broken right now. So Joseph, you went for it, and
Wow. Dana White feeling generous tonight. Good for him, man. Good for Cropshot. I didn't think he was going to get it. That's awesome.
You were
He was going for that finish. And I knew that. I had a good feeling he was going to get it, but I did not think Cropshot was. That's awesome, though. Hassan, obviously. Biggest favorite ever on the Contender series. Stopped his opponent in less than a minute. Man.
With great records, and the third round is where I was looking to see who was going to be my guy, and it never happened.
Yeah.
The judges, I don't think he won that fight.
Yeah.
The judges absolutely that decision. Yeah, I just didn't see anything that I was looking for, and I was hoping for somebody to show me in the third round who was going to be the guy.
I knew there was no contract going out for that fight. For the fourth fight. Laura Senko looks like she's going to cry.
Holy shit. I didn't get to see much, but what I got to see was pretty nasty. And, I have a long history with the coach who has nothing but good things to say about you. Welcome to the UFC.
Awesome. Another good heavyweight. Heavyweight division is getting better and better. Awesome. Awesome to see a highly skilled, good heavyweight like that, because heavyweight was stagnant for a long time, and now look at it, man. Let's look at the heavyweight rankings. Last year, when I was doing my podcast with Tom, I did a little game where I had pictures of top 15 heavyweights and guys from like 8 to 15. Neither of us recognized. Now it's changed, man. Well, so we still have Aspinall is the champ. We have Surreal Gone as the interim champ. We do not have Alex Pereira ranked yet. We've got Pavlich still ranked number 3. You got Josh Hokett ranked number 4. Waldo Cortez Acosta getting ready to fight Curtis Blades. Spivak just lost to. Wait. I'm thinking of the wrong person. Nah, Spivak didn't lose to somebody. I'm thinking of light heavyweight. You got Kuniev just won also. We got Delija Rakic is now number 10 in the division after making his heavyweight debut. We got Walter Walker. See, I don't necessarily agree that Rakic should be ranked above Walter Walker. No, that's dumb. But Derek Lewis still ranked number 13. Marcin Tybura 14 and Perchiek number 15. Let's look at it on the. Let's look at the meta rankings for heavyweight. Yeah, good for that guy, man. I didn't think he was going to get the contract, not getting the finish, but he was trying so hard for that finish in the last round. Let's see. Aspinall, gone. Volkov, Pavlich. See, they do have Pereira in the meta rankings. That's interesting. Like number 4. You got Kuniev 5, Hokett 6, Cortez, Acosta 7, Walter Walker 8. See, that makes more sense to me. Who was it that was ranked above him?
Man, it feels good to be a UFC fighter.
What do you feel like you can bring to this featherweight division?
Vitor Petrino is ranked number 11. Whoa, we got some different names on here. That's weird. Ryan Span 15. Yeah, I don't know which is considered the official rankings. But that's interesting. They don't even have Rakic in these. I would probably agree with these more. Blades 10, Spivak 9, Walker. Huh. Yeah, you could throw that dude in with a, number 10 to 15 guy in a month and he would be ranked. He'd be a ranked heavyweight in the UFC. I really believe that. All right, what is going on? My computer is not charging. My battery is about to die. All right, it's charging now. Apparently my power was not plugged all the way in. All right, no new comments. Nobody new jumping on any of the streams. So I'm going to call it a night. It's been a fun night of fights. Like I said, next week I will probably only be on here for the last fight of the night. I will watch the earlier fights while I do my workout and stuff, and I'll give you my opinion on who gets the contracts after the last fight of the night. But it'll only be like a 20-30 minute live stream instead of the 2.5 hours that this one was. But I will be back in the next couple nights to break down the and the main event for Saturday's UFC 330 card, and we'll talk about that and watch some fights. Beginning maybe on YouTube, and then it'll go to Rumble and I guess Kick exclusively. But I will catch up with you guys then. So everybody have a great night. Hope you enjoyed the fight. God